daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Manchester United podcast. My name is Niall. I'm your host for this Wildcard Wednesday. Yes, we're back with this format because we're sick of talking about the current United team. And I'm joined by Kieran, who had a little rant last night, didn't you, Kieran?
I did. I might have slightly lost the plot a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. It's a new day. It's a Wildcard Wednesday. I can just put all of that on the back burner for now, so we're all good.
We normally kind of venture into the past to make ourselves feel a bit better, but we were struggling for a topic because we've exhausted pretty much every positive thought that we had as a Man United fan. It's slowly vanishing away. We've got Chelsea at the weekend, big talking point around Garnacho. So we were like, do you know what? Let's have a look at some of the Argentinian players that have played for United over the years and just have a little chat about them. I mean, let's kick off with Mr. Garnacho himself. Saw an article there that Wes Brown said we need to smash into the Chelsea star. Any thoughts on how we should deal with Garnacho if he plays? What happens? I mean, I'm glad he's gone anyway.
Yeah, if Wes Brown, his thinking is anything to go by, there might be a couple of reds, but hey, yeah, what the deal with Garnacho? Hey, I always think of a kind of what might have been. Definitely has the confidence of a player at the top end of the top echelons of football, but yet to truly back it up, to truly do it. And I mean, his celebration against in the Chelsea game was almost as if he scored the goal. It was Caicedo who scored it.
It was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. However, if that means he's back in love with football, so be it. He got 16 goals and also a Puskás award for his overhead kick. I mean, that's not a bad return, but in the back of my mind, it could have and should have been so much more, and it's disappointing. I think is the word I use. It's disappointing how it ended. We'll see what happens at Chelsea, and we'll go from there. But it's a burnt bridge that will never be rebuilt. It just seems like.
Yeah, and it's one of those ones where it's like, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed, which is almost worse, when you hear that. So it is. I do have kind of similar sentiments. I am glad he's gone. I think myself and Tallulah had an episode pretty much just after a day or two after deadline day. I was kind of happy with any fee that we were getting for him. I think some people were complaining that probably wasn't enough. I think if we sold him a year before, you probably get more, but just how things ended so badly, it was just a matter of getting him out of the club and getting what you could for him. So another United player that has ended up at Chelsea, which brings us on to another Argentinian star. Didn't really start United, unfortunately. I think he was slightly ahead of his time in terms of our formation, probably suited a bit more of a three in midfield. But Juan Sebastian Veron, I mean, both of us spoke about it that we hadn't seen much of him play, but a fantastic footballer, but just didn't really fit in with our system of playing two in midfield at the time, and having a very strong midfield at that as well. It would have been difficult for him to make much of an impact at United, Kieran.
Yeah, and again, it's sort of a kind of before our time, really kind of player. But he's regarded, if you look back in history, it's not treated him very well. He's comes in as it's harsh to call him a flop, but I think it was because he was one of the record signings at the time. Is why he was regarded as he needed to be one of the best players in the world. And what have we got here for Manchester United? 82 appearances in total, 11 goals, 16 assists, which, I mean, for modern day, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But you've got to, I think, as well, realise the context of which Manchester United team he was in. That is decent if you're in the Manchester United squad of today, and we'd be quite happy with that. But this is, we're looking at the 2001 to 2003. That's the sort of period, early 2000s, and, that's the sort of era we're looking at. And when you've got the class of 92 still knocking around, there's high expectations when you are the club record signing. Cantona, big shoes to fill up top. Obviously, Varane was a midfielder, but still, those are the expectations. You have got to hit the ground running or else. And yeah, I would have loved to. I think you're right. Seeing Varane in the modern game would be an absolute breath of fresh air. But yeah, maybe 20 years too early, maybe 10 years too early, I think I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good point. And when you listen to the kind of ex-Man United players on podcasts, which they're all on some sort of a podcast at the moment, and I watch every minute of it. They said that they played him quite a lot in Europe because they tended to pack the midfield a bit more. So, more of him coming from Europe to United as well. You can see why they would have bought him, because he would have been effective in those matches. So, yeah, I agree. I think just in that 4-4-2 era, probably hard to squeeze him in with the competition that was there as well. So, but yeah, definitely one that I would have liked to seen a bit more of. Gabriel Heinze, not the beans, but right back for United, could play a centre half as well. Just talking before the episode around that clip of Kaká playing in Old Trafford where he kind of flicked the ball over his head and went through and slotted it home. Kind of one of the lasting memories of Heinze, but just missed out on Champions League success for United, playing a couple of years before that and then leaving the summer before the Champions League win in Moscow. Wouldn't have made our combined team that we made a couple of weeks ago with the Barcelona and Moscow Champions League winning teams. But Heinze, I actually quite liked him as a player from my youth memory of watching United, but went on to greater things at Real Madrid.
Yeah, and when Real Madrid come calling for you, you don't normally turn that down, do you? It's just one of those things. I mean, getting him from PSG and still turning a profit on him, I think is pretty good. I think it was €2 million profit. That's what I'm reading on Transfermarkt here. But yeah, again, a player who I don't have a strong affiliation. I started my sort of United worship quite late into the childhood, so I don't really remember a lot of Heinze. Please don't attack me. But I will take your word for it, Niall, in terms of a good player for the time. And yeah, I will have a look at his stats and say 52 appearances in the Premier League, just a single goal and 2 assists. But again, if you're a defender, especially if the left hand side, right hand side, totally different role to what the modern fullback and wingback have to do today. Totally different. So you can't really judge on goal contributions for a defender of 20 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. And the era, like you said, was different. So, more, we're kind of shifting back to it now with all these successful teams having nearly playing 4 centre backs across the back line, and maybe one of them inverted into midfield and playing 3 kind of big centre backs across the back 3. So, but definitely over the past 10 years, the flying fullbacks and both fullbacks up the pitch and maybe a centre midfielder tucking in with the 2 centre halves wouldn't have suited that era. Don't think. A bit of a no-nonsense defender as well, which leads us on to the Butcher. I mean, we haven't seen the Butcher in a while, to be honest. Last time I remember he scored that goal against Liverpool. I haven't seen too much of him since, but I mean, Martinez, do we love him just because he loves to go around smashing people? Like Wes Brown loves him, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I think the jury's still out on him in terms of his effectiveness and his overall performances for United. But I know that some people are big fans.
I am one of those people.
Yeah.
I love Litcher. I think he does make the side better. Mm-hmm. I think it's as simple as that. He is an absolute, as you say, that he's got the nickname the Butcher. You don't get that nickname without significant contribution to making sure tackles and attacks don't go ahead. But yeah, we've sorely missed him in this United side. We really, really have. He's not expected to be back until the new year, which it's an MCL injury. Yeah. So yeah, they take a long, long time to recover from. And I hope, whenever you have a ligament injury, knee injury, MCL, ACL, in the back of the fans' mind, let alone the players' mind themselves, are they going to be the same player they were before the injury? And I think Litcher can be. We'll see sort of sometimes you lose some pace if you have a major injury like that. You might lose some strength. You might have some recurring knee issues after that. I just hope we get to see the glimmers of what Licha showed us before the injury stole us away of what was, just a centre-back who loved to tackle. It's what you needed.
And that left centre-back position, it's probably crying out for it, especially after the performance of Luke Shaw in the Manchester derby, just getting caught out for a couple of the goals. So it would be nice to see that bit of bite, bit of aggression back into the back line. And he is good on the ball as well, to be fair to him. So, being able to set up attacks with himself, De Ligt and Yoro, or even Maguire in there as well, I would be quite comfortable with that back three. It's just everything in front of it. But
just slightly, yeah.
Just a couple of tweaks here and there. But yeah, I mean, hasn't been the worst signing that we brought in, and has had some good impact as well. So, definitely one of the Argentinians that we can remember.
Yeah, he's been out for 333 days, according to Transfermarkt. He's missed 43 games. I do feel like we missed him so much. I mean, that's from
a season. More than a season. Yeah.
3rd of February he was injured. We're rolling over, barreling towards the new year, and still no real word about how he's going to return and when, more importantly.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine there was a bit of a setback there. That seems very long if he's not coming back until the new year. I mean, 11 months in modern day, like physio and rehab, that does seem long. I mean, I don't think Rodri was even out for a year after his injury. So
no, he was 6 months or so, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a bit more. But I don't know. That seems very long. If it was February the last time, I don't know if there was maybe trying to bring him back a bit early. But
but ACL and MCLs are vicious beasts as well. If you don't manage your recovery properly, or even if you exacerbate the injury in any way, that's another 1 or 2 months onto the recovery. It's just, knee injuries are just brutal beasts. They don't care. They just don't care sometimes. So yeah, that's unofficial about how they're coming back. He's coming back in the new year. But the point is, we still don't really have a timeline of when he could be back. And that's a concern.
That's rough. That is rough. But we'll take a break there, and we'll be back with a few more Argentinian heroes and zeros from the time at Man United.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Your body is unique, and Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimize your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now. Your body is unique.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Well, Bioniq, I hope you're happy. I played your ad this time as opposed to the last time me and Kieran were on. I completely forgot to play the ad. So, you get your money's worth for this one. But anyway, you thought we were done with centre halves that love to smash opposition. Marcus Rojo. I mean, that man never saw a ball in his life. He just saw ankles and knees. He was proper no nonsense defender. I'd say you're absolutely terrified to go near him on a pitch.
Oh, for sure. And was that a disservice? Like I love to see a defender just get absolutely stuck into a tackle as much as anybody, but
yeah,
I have to sort of think, was Rojo? Am I going to look back with him in fondness? I guess so. He's a cult hero, but a bit too injury prone, wasn't he? He spent a lot of time, as far as I remember, he spent quite a bit of time on sidelines, missed crucial games and whatnot. I mean,
I'm not surprised. He'd probably be broken coming out of some of those challenges.
That's very true. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to remind myself of injuries and whatnot. But I mean, Transfermarkt has 3 pages of injuries, so that's looking good so far. But but yeah. I mean, there's 2019-20, injured in November 2019, not back until the summer. 2018, injured in December, not back until February. 2018-19, the same season, injured in October, back in about a month. Another month out in the 2018-19 season. Knee injury kept him out for at least 2 to 3 months. And a cruciate ligament tear. That's the big one. That was it. I was trying to think which one. 16, 17.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I'll do it. 209 days out with an injury. So, yeah, and there's another page of United injuries, but So, as far as I remember for Rojo, a bit too injury prone for my liking, but sometimes as a player, you just cannot help that. But for the player he was, I think he was a solid squad player. Someone you could rotate in if you were struggling with the fixture congestion, which, as the games go on, we'll get towards January. We'll probably have no fixture congestion whatsoever by January. That'll be great. So, yeah, I think, will I look back at him and think, what a legend? No. Will I look back at him and think, what a cult hero? Probably. Would I get a name with a shirt with a name on his back? I'd certainly think about it.
It would be a cheap one, though, because it's only 4 letters. So,
hey now. He'd probably have the whole name on his back.
If you're getting Schweinsteiger, you'd be out of pocket. So at least
there's a name.
Rojo's not too bad. But I just decided, you know what, I'll put Rojo's name into YouTube. So I typed Marcus Rojo, and then the first suggested result was tackles. So I think we're right in thinking back on his legacy as United. I think it's interesting as well saying that he's a squad player because, rotational, because, I mean, you kind of have to be if you're getting suspended a lot of the times as well. So you'll be in and out of the team. So some of these are absolutely horrendous. So I'm sure the social media guys will have a bit of fun putting this on top of our Marcus Rojo compilation of the podcast here. A few gruesome tackles with Diego Costa, which, I mean, that's fair. I mean, Costa was definitely giving it back as well. So, but anyway, that's Marcus Rojo. I never thought we'd spend so long on him on this podcast, but do you know what? That's the kind of surprises and shocks that are brought up in this podcast over the years. And it's gone from John O'Shea, Darren Gibson, I knew I'd get him in, Darren Gibson to Marcus Rojo. So moving on to a few more technically gifted players and some forward-thinking players. I mean, Carlos Tevez. Yeah. We've spoken to him before, the hero to the zero, but I mean, those seasons with Berbatov, Rooney, and Ronaldo, I mean, it's absolute dreamland, isn't it, Kieran?
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Just part of that trifecta that was it felt just unstoppable at times. Just looking back at Manchester United, his entire career, one short of 100 appearances for Manchester United in total, 34 goals, 14 assists, and then kind of betrayed us and went on to win more titles. With basically Man City now racked up 148 games for them in total, 73 goals. I mean, he just improved.
That's a mad stat.
That is, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. So, yeah, I mean, what a player. Deadly striker, deadly in front of goal, ruthless attacker, and kind of broke my heart when he moved across the other side. But hey, that's football. It loves to be the hero and loves to be the villain as well. And Tevez will certainly be a villain for a little while, whilst in the back of our minds think, wish we still had him. But those 4 or 5 extra seasons, why couldn't he have stayed?
Yeah. It would have been class to see. And we were still decent at the time too, so it would have been a lot of help for Rooney if he hung about. But I don't know if you saw him playing Soccer Aid a few months ago.
Oh, no? Yes.
Oh, that was hilarious. He came on and scored 4 goals in 10 minutes.
It was incredible. He brought it's not called the rest of the World 11 anymore, is it? It's the World 11. God, that's showing how long I've been trying to follow it. It just brought the World 11 straight back into the game. I think you're right. It was 3 or 4 goals.
It was funny
at some point, but. Kind of in those games, you think, oh, he still has it. But then I have to remember, it is Soccer Aid. Hang on a minute. How accurate
Paddy
is
McGuinness
this?
is in nets, but still, I mean, he did look good, though. He looked sharp. He could do a job for us in one of those number 10s, We should get him back in.
He'd only recently retired from Boca, didn't he? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't long retired when he went into Soccer Aid, so no wonder he was looking so fit and fresh.
He looked more fit there than he did when he was in his playing days. But he was absolutely flying, which I just thought was hilarious because he was taking it proper serious. Like he was getting in fights with like YouTubers and stuff. It was brilliant.
Oh, yeah. Was it Angry Ginge and Tevez basically locked horns? Oh, amazing.
Yeah, this is the type of content we need. Like, so I just thought it just came to my mind actually. Yeah, he was absolutely balling in Soccer Aid, which was quite funny. So yeah.
On a side note, get Angry Ginge in the back line. Go on.
Yeah, honestly,
commanding presence, isn't he?
Him, Delict, and Licha. Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine?
You get him on the pod, sure. Yeah.
Angry Ginge, if you're listening, tell us about Carlos Tevez.
We need your opinions on this. We need some insight into Carlos Tevez as well.
In the mindset.
Yeah. I mean, we have two left here. Probably the best backup keeper we've had. Would that be a fair statement? I think there was a stage where obviously De Gea was incredible, and we had Argentina's number one playing cup games. So Sergio Romero, I mean, what a hero for United.
Not only that, not just a cup keeper. Don't do him a disservice. Europa League winner in 16-17, Sergio Romero. Yeah. And of course, around that time, there was a lot of talk about, will De Gea start the final? Because now Romero has brought them up. But no, he started, won it 2-0, kept a clean sheet in the final, and gets a trophy. And I am astonished at how long he sort of spent at United. It was 6 years he spent at United. Willingly battling De Gea for that number one spot. It was incredible.
Willingly sitting on 150k a week.
I wasn't going to say, willingly.
That sub-keeper role. I mean, talk about Tom Heaton now. Tom Heaton was on the bench for the first time. I'd say he was getting a bit shaky, and then we brought him on, and he was like, "Oh, here we go. Sit back in, lads. Here we go.
Take his Richard role."
It's like, you know what? Lamont, and I saw a comment from Tom Heaton today. I wanted to bring this up on one of the episodes. Looks like it's coming up in this one. Tom Heaton, how's Lamont getting on? I was like, please just say he's incredible. Like that, I've never seen anything like it. First line, he goes, he seems like a great lad. I was like, oh no.
Don't leave with that.
No, that is not what I want to hear. I mean, I don't want to hear it from any of the players. I don't want any of them to be a good lad. I mean, if you're saying good lad,
that's under-8s talk. You say the keeper of the under-8s team is a great lad.
Oh, he's a great lad, but like also
battling for the Nets starter at Man United. Oof.
And he was like, I like his fundamentals. I was like, oh, Heaton, no. Like, it's not his fault. I just hope Lamont is better than what Heaton is saying.
Yeah.
So that didn't fill me with confidence. But, I mean, going back to Romero, incredible position being. I can't believe he was there for 6 years, Kieran.
Yeah,
that's actually madness.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, joined from Sampdoria in 2015 for about €5 million, and then left on a free to go to Venezia in 2021. So 6 years at the club. Amazing. And literally, I can't think of a better backup keeper that Man United have ever had. I mean, would you put Tim Howard and Thomas Kuszczak in that conversation? I just don't think we saw a lot of them in a Man United shirt. Whereas Romero, he was starting cup games. He was in the FA Cup and I think occasional League Cup, if it wasn't especially Dean Henderson towards sort of the end of the 2020s era when sort of Dean Henderson took over that role. But he was a great keeper for what he was used for. Was he underused? Well, probably not, because we had De Gea. And at that time in his career, the mid-2010s, De Gea was one of the best keepers in the world. Yeah. One of the best shot stoppers in the world. So I think Romero was a very, very solid backup. And how we had him for 6 years, sitting on the bench, as you say, Argentina's number one, sitting on the bench and still getting picked for Argentina and still doing a job, will probably go down as one of my favourite players to play for United ever.
Yeah, no, absolute legend. I mean, like you said, winning the Europa League as well, playing the whole way through it. It's tough when you're not playing week on week to just come into a cup kind of cold as well and perform. So brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then the final player is a really what could have been. It kind of.
So you need to be watching on YouTube because I just made a visual joke.
Angel Di Maria. I mean, how exciting was this signing? Like,
The Leicester game still lives rent free in my
the
memory.
lob, like,
Yes.
absolute audacity of the lob. Was it 4-0 or 4-1 or something? And it was like everyone was
God.
just pinging off each other. It was incredible.
Yeah, and then something happened, and it was just never saw it again. But I think Di Maria was decent. I just don't think it just worked the way we all wanted it to. He was a big signing at the time. Came into Manchester United, the weight of expectation on him, and in fairness, he. I don't know if he succumbed to it because he's a great player. It didn't work. It just didn't work. 26 appearances for him, I believe, in the Premier League, 4 goals, 4 assists. I mean,
all against Leicester. It's how good he was in that game.
No comment. But yeah, the lob. In fact, no, it was 27 appearances, 3 goals, 10 assists. There you go. So assist-wise, he was pretty decent.
Yeah.
But what we know Di Maria now is, he's was when he moved to PSG after that, very potent attacker. Could assist, could score. So we're a bit early, although were we? Because
I don't know. It was kind of like
lull, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was also kind of the start of that buying superstars and failing. Like that's when we always go back to you could ream off 10 or 12 of them since that we've tried to buy maybe at just the fall of their peak on the decline, and we've bought them probably overpriced and then had to get rid of them. I mean, I know your favorite player Ibrahimovic is in there as well, but he was good for a year or two, but not kind of what we needed. Falcao, Sanchez, Di Maria. I mean, the list goes on with some of them players as well, which is just disappointing. But it kind of felt like the beginning of that cycle that we went through with Di Maria, that it just really, really didn't work, which is such a pity because, I mean, World Cup final, coming up with massive moments as well, like a brilliant goal against France, wins the penalty as well. Just a great player, but just didn't have his best time at United. But not the first time that's happened. But
no, I mean, I'm just going to go back on my word here because I was like, did we get him, too early? No, Real Madrid, 124 appearances in Liga, 22 goals, 61 assists. Time after United at Paris Saint-Germain, 197 appearances in Liga, 56 goals, 77 assists. So no, he just didn't gel at United, and that can happen as a player. It happens for most players nowadays. Sad to say.
Yeah,
but hey,
I was wondering when you were going to correct yourself. Immediately corrected himself on that.
I'd stand on integrity. Look, I subbed out Sesko from my fantasy football team. And
Kieran, I was telling everyone that you had Sesko. I was like, this man needs to get rid of his United loyalties when it comes to fantasy football. Sesko in fantasy football.
I'm above you in the league now. Settle down.
Yeah, no, there's a couple of points.
Although you had a blinding week, so
I had a huge week. Do you know what it is? I got rid of Will Rigg.
That was it. Will Rigg's not on fire.
The catalyst. Yeah. Anyway, that wraps up the Wildcard Wednesday. Somehow we ended up on Argentinian players that have played for United because Big Garnacho is playing for Chelsea at the weekend. I'm sure his brother agent will be at the game as well, so there'll be plenty of content going up over the weekend from the Garnacho family, which is great. So we'll be all tuning into that. And if you're interested for any content from ourselves on our social medias, GSPN Man United, you can see Kieran absolutely losing his head on a few clips that the social media guys are getting up. So be sure to tune into that, drop a comment, get some debate going in the chat as well in the comment section. But Kieran, thank you very much for joining me on this episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.